chug.
Hey!
Hey!
I caught you, Dan. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
I didn't smoke.
Welcome to Happy Hour-ish here live on EXXXOTICA.tv. Man, I'm your host, Jay. This is my hostess with the mostest, Dan Davis. Hey, Dan, what's happening?
What's up, Jay Handy?
Am
I pointing the right way today?
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right.
I finally got it after what? This is our sixth one of these and our 30th episode of on Exotica TV, period. We went from trade shows to TV producers. We are fucking amazing.
Have you actually watched the show? Have you watched the show?
Dude, I don't have to watch it. I've lived it.
You might want to go back and just
P.W. Herman, 1984.
All right, buddy. So listen, how was your week?
You know what changed this week, Jay? Not a damn fucking thing.
Exactly. I know. Still quarantined. Still, stuck.
Day 48 for me.
Day 49 for me.
48.
I'm one day.
My beard's coming in good. I'm getting ready to play Santa when I don't have a job between packing on the munchie pounds and the fucking gray beard. So I'm good, man. I'm ready to rock.
You watch anything good on TV? Anything this week? Point me at.
What did I watch this week? The Boys on Prime.
Okay.
That was some good shit.
Okay.
Imagine if Superman just wanted to get blowjobs, had a mommy complex, and decapitated people with his laser eyes. That's The Boys.
Okay.
Good shit.
I watched the Michael Jordan documentary.
No, I believe Michael Jackson more coming from you. But
no, I actually watched that one too, and it was disgusting.
Which one?
But I digress. I mean, I guess the topic is pretty disgusting, but yeah, I think it was the HBO one.
I'm waiting for the LaToya one. The LaToya Jackson documentary. That's going to be good.
Anyways, no, we're moving on. So I had one piece of housekeeping today before we jump into it. We want to remind everybody, that they need to check out EXXXOTICA.tv. We have been having a hell of a time keeping all of our feeds up and running and live and surfing the Exotica triple X's on mainstream media. So keep an eye on EXXXOTICA.tv. That's where we're going to always be able to keep these shows. Some of these different streaming networks and stuff are always hit or miss. So a very important piece of housekeeping.
And to all you right-wing people out there, we love you.
Yeah, definitely no need to report.
Leave us alone tonight. I don't know, man. It's just like, we will send a new emoji on Facebook to you of the little heart hugging thing.
We will not do that either.
I'm going to send that to you every day.
All right.
But we got a star-studded show today.
Yes,
star-studded. We got Penny Poison's going to be on later, doing a whole bunch of cool / disturbing / I don't know what else shit. We have the incomparable Tommy Pistol and the actor / comedian / podcast host / gamer
/ most recognized name in the world at this point, like
in the world, next to Anthony Fauci, but
I think they could probably rival. Honestly, I bet you people know her more than they know him.
No, him, Fauci.
No, I know. I'm saying people know her more than they know him.
What's up with Bricks, by the way, with the big giant scarves all the time? Is she hiding something? Does she have an Adam's apple?
Go for it.
I don't know. But our first guest, and we're going to bring her in because we have to. Otherwise, she'll stab us in the eye at some point when we see her.
I'm kind of afraid.
But I know. Look, we've known her for a wee long time. Forgot to print out the fucking thing from Yankee Stadium. God damn it. So we can load that when it said Stormy Daniels. Welcome, Stormy Daniels. But welcome, Stormy Daniels.
Yeah. What's up, Stormy?
Hey, guys.
Loving the hair.
Thank you. My daughter did it. It's what most people don't know is that my natural hair color is black.
So you're saying that's not your natural color?
It's black like your soul and your heart.
I was not about to bleach it at home without professional guidance. And my daughter was like, I have hot pink hair dye in the bathroom cabinet. Can I do your hair?
So that's a quarantine do.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, she did a good job, actually, for,
My girlfriend was going to offer to cut my hair last night, but then I heard horror stories of when she's actually cut men's hair.
That's what happened to you,
I want to protect what I have, the little I have left, so I just left it. I just want to leave it there for Jay to make the rest fall out.
Nope. Yeah. I thought you were just predicting me picking on you.
I know.
You're fine to pick on.
I know. It's fun. It's like it should be a sport.
You know what, Storm? We should team up. I like where this is going.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely fucking not.
Hey, this was your idea.
She needs no fucking help.
See, he's a glutton for punishment. He brings us all together, and then
sounds to me like Jay needs help.
To this day, like the thing of you haven't lived till you've gone to Universal and Disney with Stormy.
Oh God.
I will say you haven't lived until you've gone anywhere with Stormy, because and Yankee Stadium, I've never been on the big screen more in my life than when we hung out with Stormy that day.
It was Stormy and Jesse Jane, and actually this is before like the world knew of Stormy Daniels. Only like a portion of the world knew of Stormy Daniels.
What's in that cup?
What's in your cup? What does your cup say?
It says, "I have the pussy, so I make the rules." And it is actually wine that I bought at Walmart because that's the only thing open here in Texas. And apparently we have no wine glasses whatsoever. It's just out. So I chose this instead. I figured it was kind of appropriate.
Oh my God. So you've had actually an exciting week in quarantine because all this shit's come back out at you saying that, oh yeah, you recanted the whole story and this and that. And
yeah, it's really strange. It's somebody scared somewhere because I think that it first re-hit on Facebook, like as a promoted, somebody sent me the link and it was a promoted post on Facebook, which means someone paid to have that promoted because Facebook doesn't promote shit for free. I know this from dealing with my
They also
charity
promote some fucked up shit, so that's...
Right.
Yeah, so, like shitty ass fucking masks from China.
But the weird thing is that it's an article from January of 2018, which was almost a full 2 months before I came out with my story. And they're just regurgitating it and like mass tweeting it, as fact without checking the date. And even when I point out the date, they won't. It's like they're zombies. It's bizarre.
Right.
And I even said there's not an actual quote from me, but they're putting it as a quote. It contains a quote from Cohen, who is in prison now for that quote. So
actually, I know somebody who's in his cell block. I swear to you. Yeah. He's supposedly getting out.
You should meet Dan's friends. He hangs out with a rough bunch.
Oh, you know the person too.
Yeah.
Dude, it's federal prison. It's really not a rough bunch.
Right. They're just retweeting it as fact. And then today they took a photoshopped picture of me with Trump and Melania, and they're passing it around as fake. And I'm like, you realize that picture, they cut my date from the AVN red carpet out from 2006 and put Trump next to me, and people are accepting it as fact. I think Moz was in the original photo with me.
If anybody is surprised by the fact that you could do that, there would be a group of people in this country that can bury their head in the sand like that. I think we shouldn't be surprised by that anymore. It's crazy.
No, you were paid, I'm like, this is such an easy thing. Let me recap for everybody out there who's stupid. In 2016, I met Trump. I went to his hotel room because he invited me to have a meeting and have dinner, which I was under the impression was to talk about having the first adult actress on Celebrity Apprentice. He asked if I would come to his room, and then we would go down to dinner in one of the numerous nice restaurants at the beautiful hotel he was staying at. I got to his room. He was in pajamas. I told him to go put some fucking pants on. We talked for a while. There was a huge bodyguard blocking the door. I spanked him with a magazine. He was an asshole, but I was having fun being mean to him because that's what I enjoy doing. At no point was sex or anything like that discussed or mentioned or hinted at. I was not a prostitute. Not that I have anything against that, but that was not discussed or arranged, and I was not paid to do that or be there. Went to the bathroom, came out. He was in his underwear on the bed. He cornered me, and all the other little details are obviously in the book. This is a very quick recap. I was afraid to say no for the first and only time in my life, which I'm horribly ashamed and disgusted by. And there was the most unfortunate 90 seconds of my life following that. Everybody knew he called me constantly for a year and a half on speakerphone. I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy didn't overhear one of those conversations because I used to put him on speakerphone on set. All the time. There is at least 100 people that overheard me on the phone with him. Somebody sold that story in 2000.
18?
11.
11, sorry.
To In Touch magazine. The story has not changed. That's way before he ever became president or was thinking about being president. A man cornered me and my infant daughter in a parking lot, threatened to kill both of us, and the story got buried. They approached me and offered me payoff money right before the election because he went on TV and said something stupid about grabbing somebody by the pussy, and they were afraid that I was going to talk. I was afraid my husband would find out that I had that in me because I never told him. He's kind of sensitive, right, Tommy? Oh, Tommy's not on yet, but Tommy knows my ex. And so I took the money, not because I would have asked for a lot more than $130,000. I took the money so that there would be a signed paper trail so that they wouldn't kill me. I agreed not to say anything, but I never agreed to lie. A year later, the story came out, which I believe in my heart of hearts that somebody at Wicked Pictures leaked said story. I told Wicked to suck my dick. I quit working for the company because of all of this, and somebody else tried to sell the story and pretend it was her story.
And so I believe that because that same person, which I'm as fucking innocent as humanly known, like threw me under the bus and Jay about Jeremy or whatever after. Yeah, so the same person. So I know who you're talking about. But okay, continue.
I still didn't say anything. Part of the NDA was that neither one of us could contact each other or say anything. Then Cohen, dumbass, proceeds to try to shop a book. You can find all of this online. And in the treatment for his book, he listed paying Stormy Daniels $130,000. He shit his pants, called me, tried to force me into signing a statement, which I agreed that I would say nothing. I never agreed to lie. Told them no twice, which they had already broken the NDA because you're not supposed to contact each other. Right. So that's 3 times they broke it. Then they said, it'll be really bad for you if you don't sign this. Sign it. My attorney didn't have my back. I was scared. They said they would audit me, et cetera, et cetera. So I signed it. They asked me to sign another one 10 days later. I said no. They showed up to my hotel room the day that I was going on Jimmy Kimmel, slid it across the desk and said, if you don't sign this, something bad's going to happen. So I signed it, but signed my signature very wrong and tipped off Jimmy Kimmel, who pointed it out on television. Fired my attorney that day and went shopping for a new one, which is how I ended up with Michael Avenatti. I'm not defending Avenatti because he's a scumbag, but for the record, I sought him out because I needed someone to represent me. I was not paid for sex that day. I was paid to be quiet, which I did until they were not quiet, and opened my front door to news vans in my front yard trying to take pictures of my child. Thank you very much. Suck my dick.
And your story, and honestly, that story is the same story that was on 60 Minutes, that was on, that you were with Kimmel, that's been in every interview with you, in your fucking book. You're a great actress, but no offense, not, the greatest actress. Believe me, you're telling the truth. And knowing you for as long as I've known you, it's as a friend and, out of the business. I mean, there's only, a handful of people even in this business who have met my family or, and only one person who's wiped my daughter's ass. But I mean, it's, this is everybody that asks me like, oh, do you believe it? I'm like, fucking abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you're not the kind who kisses and tells.
I was going to say,
but I haven't hold on because they didn't fuck with me.
One thing that makes you realize that, you're with Stormy, you're dealing with her good word is that over the course of time, one of the things that impresses me the most about her is that she's willing to admit when she fucks shit up. Anytime that, like, I was reading some of your tweets back and forth to people and whatever, there are things that you do where you're just like, yeah, I fucked up. It was a bad decision that I made, 3 years ago. I am also a person that believes that you can actually admit that and move on and be everything that you are. Whereas, the other guy is not that guy. It's stick with the same story.
My story has changed, and people think, oh, you extorted him, you blackmailed him. 1, I would be in prison because they would have locked my ass up. 2, come on, I would have asked for a lot more than $130,000. I used to be in charge of millions of dollars a year for Wicked Pictures budget. When Tommy comes on, he can tell you about the sets he worked on for me. And I am a way smarter businesswoman. If it had been my deal, I would have negotiated higher. But I wasn't doing it for the money. I had a great job. I wasn't washed up. I had 19 AVN nominations the week the story broke and had just signed a huge contract as a director for Digital Playground and Browsers. So pretty sure I was doing okay. And to just drive that point home so that somebody couldn't say that I got paid to do this, I turned down hundreds of thousands of dollars in interviews to go on with Anderson Cooper for free. I didn't make a single dime for that. And the first TV interview I did was with him, and the first print interview I did was with Rolling Stone, and neither 60 Minutes nor Rolling Stone paid me a penny.
Man, there are very few people in the world that can give you like their life rundown, or at least a chunk of it, in 30 seconds and have it go for 6 minutes.
It's fucking awesome. And speaking of awesome, I'm just like here, and I was looking earlier, just before, not that we really have to do research, but it's actually a daily ritual to read Stormy's Twitter feed and follow her at Stormy Daniels, because here, this one guy, Giovanni, you're hiding your twat, haven't seen it lately. Stormy's replied, do you not know how to work the internet? It's kind of everywhere.
I mean, it's amazing because I've always taken the approach of like, just don't even give them the response or an answer. And Stormy just turns around and goes the exact opposite way. I like it.
Yeah, people are always like, why do you let them get to you? And I'm like, do you really think that it's getting to me?
It doesn't get to you.
It doesn't. I do it mostly out of boredom and sport. Like, you can tell because I won't tweet for a few days, and then it'll be like a couple of like hours of mass tweeting. I'm probably on an airplane.
Let me ask you, did it ever get to you? Like, was there ever, like, because I've known you for a long time, and you've never struck me as the type of person that it would get to you, but that doesn't mean that it didn't develop over time.
No, it doesn't get to me. I guess, you know what has started, the only things that like really like I won't respond to that is a block, because I don't make it a habit of blocking people.
Right.
Like, I'm not one of these people who fires off a tweet and can't handle it and then blocks. I only block you if you talk shit about my kid.
Of course.
Because I don't care who you are, kids should be off limits. Like, I don't talk, I mean, I won't even cross that line and talk about other people's kids. Like, it's just not cool.
Did you know that Dan's my love child?
I did, actually. But the only thing that gets to me is just not what they say to me, but just how terrifyingly stupid people are.
Like George Carlin once said, think of how dumb the average person is, and 50% are dumber than that. Like, we're dealing with a crazy world.
Truly terrifying.
And it's, I mean, look, I mean, your kid's homeschooled, because of all this stuff. Well, that and probably the education system isn't probably the greatest either, but
misconception. She's not homeschooled because of this. She's homeschooled because she got kicked out of preschool for standing on a chair and saying, I'm surrounded by idiots. And she slapped a Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich out of another little girl's hand and said, we don't support Chick-fil-A. They don't love my Uncle Keith and Uncle JD.
Okay.
So
seems pretty valid.
I took her out of school because she was just bored, and they didn't appreciate her activism, I guess. She didn't go to regular school like she was supposed to a year and a half later because of this, but she wasn't yanked out of school.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's why she's probably it's going to be a long time before she has, because it's got to be scary. Look, I mean, Jay and I were sitting there like in the beginning, like, it's like, they got our numbers, man. Are we like worried here? Are they going to like, audit us? I mean, anybody who you're friends with, I mean, was probably, it's intimidating.
Dude, the federal government is a fucking scary thing, man. When they there's a million different ways that they could just make your life miserable.
And he's such a vindictive person. Like, you could just see it how
Dan
he is.
said that. I didn't say that. Please don't send the troops.
No, but like, even like, look, even on the SBA shit and the CARES Act, there's literally, and you wrote an op-ed piece about it. And people in the business are referring to it as the Stormy Clause.
Yeah, the Stormy Clause. Yeah.
that anybody, an adult, cannot receive any sort of compensation.
Affects us. Like, I mean, it affects everybody. Like,
sort of did a thing and made somebody very angry.
Yeah.
But at least you don't have 16 fake charges on your FBI record like I do.
Nice.
How does one go about getting their FBI record?
Try to go into another country and have them grab you and read it off to you.
Okay, that's good. Hey, speaking of arrests and whatnot, everybody knows about we both have something in common. We both hate Columbus, Ohio.
Did your boobs get you in trouble there too?
No, Jay got us in trouble. We did a show there, and you know how many people are on our screen right now? That's about how many people were there on Friday night.
Yeah.
At Exotica Columbus. It was bad.
There were more people at your arraignment than we had through the door on Friday.
We actually sent hotties walking through the streets butt-ass naked, hoping to get them arrested. And it didn't happen.
Yep.
Well, I'm here in Dallas where you also got in trouble, and I almost got in trouble because I took a red Sharpie out and was correcting the spelling mistakes on the protester signs. Remember that?
I remember that. Yes, I remember that. Just when you think I can't remember anything, you bring up something else. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. But the cops, so you settled out of court with the city of Columbus, got a nice payday.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on that. All we got was a stack of bills, so fuck you very much. Yeah. But the cops who arrested you actually
with that money that you won, you could buy 2 of what we lost. So, we're accepting donations. But I mean, also those cops, didn't they get picked up or something this week, or something happened with them? I was reading
2 weeks ago, so they had already been fired. They should have been fired before I even stepped foot in Columbus because there were so many charges against them. My friend Denver actually found out about it. And Saman, he was pretty terrified because they had the officer that sort of set up the sting operation had so many complaints against him already, and they just they should have suspended him, and they didn't. And then what happened with me happened, and I knew that I wasn't wrong. If you watch, we have Michael Vegas was filming. We have the entire thing on HD camera footage, everything, which it'll come out eventually in my documentary, but you can hear me say to them, like, the cop goes, "It's not my fault you don't know the law." And I go, "I actually do know the law. You don't know the law." And that's why he tightened my cuffs so tight. And they stole my diamond earrings. I never got one of them back. Strip searched me, took pictures of my,
and it was all planned, right? I mean, they had emails.
Like, you don't bring somebody in for that. Then they found their Facebook post going back and forth before I got there. They planned to arrest me before I even got into the state of Ohio. So the whole thing was a setup. But they still allowed those officers to keep working. And one of them ended up shooting. I need to fact check it, but I believe she was picked up for solicitation. And it was, I don't know if she was on the street or what, an escort service or whatever. But they shot her. And the last time I checked, sex wasn't a violent crime. Well, unless you're working with Tommy Pistol.
Unless you want to.
Or Brie Olson.
You know what? I think that's a good that might be a good segue, Dan.
That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, we're going to bring in our next guest because I mean, we got to get to the bottom of some of this shit because she's throwing him under the bus and he hasn't been able to respond.
We need the dirt.
Yeah. And then we'll talk more with Stormy about her comic book coming up, spooky things like ghosts and a whole.
Look out behind you.
But hey, this guy's won male performer awards from every fucking thing. Every freaking year it seems he's winning something.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
Yep.
Winning.
Yep.
Tommy Pistol, everybody. Welcome to happy hour-ish. We're definitely going to be more than an hour.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
What's up, man?
Tommy?
Welcome to the show.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, shit, this isn't Fortnite?
Ladies of the night.
Dude, what's happening?
Yes. There you go. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
So this is, by the way, before you blame anybody on this is all Stormy's idea was to have you on this. I was talking with Stormy. I'm like, who do you want to be on with? Because you pretty much hate everybody. And, she said, I love me some Tommy Pistol. So
who's afraid enough of you and not afraid enough of you at the same time?
Yeah, it's a perfect choice.
Yeah. When Stormy, when you sent me the text, I really appreciated it. I was like, what? You're thinking of me. I thank you. I loved it. I loved it.
Because normally when most people find out I'm thinking about them, they're terrified. He's smiling.
Yeah.
Well, he's also been drinking for the last half hour here, so and Lord knows what else. But it's Bud Light. Yeah, that's okay. It's not beer.
Your mustache matches your beer. I like it.
Thank you. I'm trying some different.
You've gone through. I've been following you during the quarantine, and you've had many stages of facial hair during this thing.
I grow facial hair very fast.
Okay.
So
and I shaved this morning.
I could like mix and match it and do stupid things, but this one I don't know.
Do you have names for them?
Huh?
Do you have names for do you have names for your different stages of facial hair? Like the one was like, I don't know.
No, it's more like creepy. Like creepy 1, creepy 2. Oh, really creepy.
It looks like it comes off like Mr. Potato Head.
He's got like a little peg, underneath his nose.
Kind of like Freddie Mercury-ish.
Yeah,
I could see that.
You could do Queen. You could do Queen, not the Queen, the porno or something.
I'm trying to also teach my kids, since they're not in school, to remind them stay away from people that look like this. So
that's
really
take a long look, kids. This is what you. If you see me, run.
Yeah, Stormy's letting her kid dye her hair pink, and you're teaching your kids to stay away from men with mustaches.
Yep.
Yes.
What about women with mustaches? Is that okay, or is that just a personal choice?
Say it again.
Women with mustaches, are they okay to be next to?
Hey,
you should run from them too.
You live one life.
Just mustaches see no sex. They're unisexed. You see a mustache like that, you run.
Jay shaved earlier this week, and I'm like, he's trying to get some.
I was, and it worked. But I also realized that I can shave after the show and still get some and not look like I'm 13 years old and like 40 pounds overweight. So I'm just sticking with the the scruff.
So Tommy, what have you been up to during this whole thing? I mean, because you were busy, you were doing, obviously acting, comedy, podcasts.
I started a podcast with Rosie Tran called Dirty Change. So we were doing that. Work has really picked up. It was going great. And just a lot of things, burners going and on the fire and possible projects. So, I mean, now everything is kind of chill. I think the hardest part of this is finding that routine and sticking with it. Just like staying with working out, reading. There's still like scripts I could read and rehearse and writing. So every day is a little different. And if one thing kind of throws you off, then the rest of the day is off, which kind of sucks. So it's just kind of feeling that grounded and just trying to find the routine that makes you comfortable and happy. So
we've been doing this stuff for 50 days now? And so something like that. Do you guys find that your days are going faster now than when we started or slower?
Yeah.
Faster?
I feel the weeks are going by like nothing. I can't even believe it's fucking May 1st.
I know.
It's May 1st.
It's going to be May.
How the fuck am I going to pay my mortgage?
That's what's scary. It's just you're in all day, and it's like, wait, a week passed. Yeah. Oh, another week. That is confusing. It is a little weird.
What about you, Storm? I mean, you haven't been home for what's the longest you were home for years? I mean, you travel so much.
Yeah, I mean, probably in the last 2 years, the most I've had off is maybe a week. And that's only in the that was very rare. And there was usually a holiday involved. Before that, the most, I wouldn't go more than same, I guess, because I was still going to LA to direct and stuff and dancing. Right. So the amount of time I was gone is the same. The difference is that where like a dance booking used to be 4 days in one city. Now it's one because I have traveled. There's more places in a small amount of time because of the demand. But yeah, my house is very clean.
Yeah. I mean, is that
clean? I fucking planted flowers.
No.
Wow, you're getting desperate now.
And they're still alive.
That was yesterday.
Well, did you just plant them? Knowing you planted them just to kill them.
Damn.
Maybe. No.
You said too, maybe people saw you outside because a lot of the houses in your neighborhood are now for sale.
Yeah, like 4 on each side are all for sale now, and I'm like.
I saw the thing that they were talking about unemployment. It's so high or whatever. They said 1 in 5 people in the country have lost their jobs.
I actually thought it was going to be more than that.
Yeah, I mean that's a fucking shit ton of people. Like,
give it time.
It's not over yet either. Yeah, so
I know.
We just started.
So that means one of us is going down here, guys.
Yeah, seriously. No, we could all be safe. We could all be safe. Oh wait, we haven't brought Penny in yet. Sorry.
But I mean, yeah. So I mean, Tommy? So. What you got to tell me this story because when I was talking to Stormy and she was recommending you for this, Or maybe we'll let Stormy tell the story of your very first time working together.
Oh,
I want to hear both of your versions of this shit. So
Okay.
We should mute one of them and then compare the two.
Yeah, I wish we could. Tommy, you can't listen to this.
No, don't do that.
No, Tommy has worked with me quite a few times. Me as a director and him being an actor in my movies, and he's one of my favorite people to direct. He, despite the way he looks, he is very professional. He's very professional. He knows his lines. He's on time. He's
the mustache.
Excited to be there, and he does a great performance. And it came to the point where I was specifically writing parts for him because he's also got no shame. He will literally do anything.
It's a good quality to have.
Hence Pee-wee XXX.
And so I called him up and I booked him. Are you available on this date, this time, whatever? Yes. So he's booked and he said, who am I working with? And I was like, me. And he didn't say anything. So cool, you know. He asked me like a week later for the information. He's like, so who's my scene with again? And I was like, me. And he still didn't say anything, like, fine. And he shows up on set and he walks on. He's there for the day or whatever. And he goes, who am I actually doing my scene with? And I was like, me. And he goes, no, like who am I having sex with? And I was like,
what
me.
Don't you get?
He was like, I need a minute. And he left. And I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, he doesn't want to fuck me. Like, what's going on? One of my crew guys came in and was like, is Tommy okay? And I was like, I don't know. They're like, he's out in the front yard of the house. And he's like, he's doing like Lamaze breathing techniques in the driveway. And I was like, are you going to be okay? He thought he was being punked. And so I've always wanted to know, like, if he had known the whole time that he was actually going to have to work with me, would he have still said yes to the job, or would he have just not shown up that day?
I'm looking at that face right now and I'm going to say he's guilty.
Mr. Pistol, do you wish to respond?
Yes, I would like to give my returnal response. I do remember Stormy requesting to hire me. I remember all that coming up to that. I remember being honored and finding it a privilege because at that time, I never really worked for Wicked as much, and a lot of the directors for Wicked, it was kind of a clique thing, and they hired the guys they liked. Like,
right, they're bringing you into the fold.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was honored. I was very, very happy. And then also when it came to the chance of working with Stormy, I was kind of like, come on. I mean, it's fucking Stormy Daniels. She's a legend. Like, and I know I'm known for being wacky and silly and stuff like that, but I'm not going to lie. It was a little intimidating. So when
you were outside doing your breathing techniques, was it just to like psych yourself up? Were you like, what was going through your brain?
Well, I still appreciate my job. Like, I still like it. So I do get butterflies, and I think that's why I still stay like interested and happy. And then when it's happening, you can see like honest enthusiasm and like, wow, he's really into this, because I am. So I was outside kind of like, oh shit, like, let's get in the zone. Let's not fuck this up.
So once you got into your like Zen like trance and you went in and there was Stormy, like, was everything fine after that? You guys were good, like, or was there like a
it was fun, man.
It was a great scene, yeah.
Awesome.
I remember like being like, oh, because I was like, if we're going to do this, if I'm going to have this chance, whether it's once or many times, like, she's a professional, I'm a professional, let's have fun. Let's make it a really fun scene. So we're throwing out stuff like, I like, when I do BDSM, like, I like to give it, but also take it.
Okay.
I think that's a real actor.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Stormy likes to give it too.
Yeah. She totally did. So every time I was like, you should choke me. You should spit in my face. You should stick your fingers in my mouth. Like, she's like, yeah, Yeah, and I know that's not something she gets to do a lot on like Wicked films.
Really?
They're
Nobody
more like,
does?
no.
Nothing about this is normal. But anyways, continue on.
It's normal to us.
Yes, it is.
It was a really good scene. It's one of my favorite scenes I've ever done.
Dude, looking at my screen right now, the word normal doesn't come to my lips about anyone in here. Zero.
But I have to follow this up with a story about the second time I worked with Tommy.
There was a second time, so that's good.
Yeah, that means the first time worked.
And it was me and
first
Tommy.
time
Eric, it was me, Tommy, and Eric Masterson. And we were in the bed of a pickup truck in the driveway, and the house across from where we were shooting had a donkey. We were trying to stay in character, but it was really late, and we were pretty like exhausted and slap happy. And
Was this like the Western movie?
No.
Okay.
This was another movie. It was supposed to be a really dark, creepy scene where they like pick me up as a hitchhiker.
Meanwhile, in the background, you're
And every time this donkey went off, Tommy would go, "Quit it! You're next. You get your turn." And then he'd whisper in my ear, he'd go, "She gets a little jealous."
Oh my god.
And then him and Eric Masterson started like talking to each other over me. Who's gonna give it to her first? Like talking about the donkey, and I was laughing so hard. I've never laughed so hard in my life and during that scene. Oh. And I was staying at the place we were shooting at, and the next morning at 6 a.m. Fuck you, Tommy. I get woken up by Keith, the property owner. He's like, I need you to come outside and take care of something. And I was like, oh God, what happened? What did we do? Because we were shooting so late. I thought like the lighting truck ran over a sprinkler or broke something. And I was like, fuck. So he drags me out of bed.
Wait, let me guess. Tommy's out there fucking the donkey.
You knew it.
Tommy, I guess the entire time every time he had to get a new condom or change the condom, he took it off and hung it on the cactus in their driveway. But 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm picking used condoms off of a cactus.
Because Wicked did require condoms.
Right. And Tommy, but it looked like a condom Christmas tree.
So it's Steve-O's fucking fault.
Right.
And Tommy, believe me, I feel your pain because little fun fact about me, I was in a Stormy movie.
When was that?
I actually made the box cover.
You know what? I have the box cover.
Whack job.
That's right.
And you know how you know Dan was on it? Because you can see the shine off the top of his head from here.
Yes, exactly.
I know it's fucked up.
Sorry, Storm. I'm covering your face with it. I'm going to move
had a common besides being in a Stormy movie. They both went to an amusement park with me.
As chubby Clark Kent over there said, yes, you could see the shine off the top of my head. But anyway, I digress. But you guys have worked together a bunch of times, and I know you started, actually, Tommy, your first things were with Burning Angel with Joanna, right?
Yeah, I started out in New York with Burning Angel, yeah.
Are you a New Yorker? Are you on this coast?
Yeah, I grew up in Astoria, Queens.
Okay.
So, East Coast, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID capital of the world, yeah. We roll.
I gotta admit, I love LA. Fuck snow. I hate snow.
You're dead to me.
First off, you wanted to make your name AMAC. True or false?
That is true.
And she gave you Tommy Pistol, I guess, fucking with Tommy Gun.
I don't know if those were her intentions, but
Nice.
It was kind of a process to finally get to shoot with her. And her first scene was my first scene. So when it came down to putting out the box cover, she was like, oh, what name do you want? And I thought, AMAC. Like, hey, Mac. I thought that was funny.
So
I thought that was, hey, Mac. See, you get it. I thought that was funny. And she's like, I can't. So the first printing edition of that DVD, I was named AMAC. And then she's like, I don't want to be working with somebody named AMAC.
But small Joanna. Hey.
Yeah, right? Thank you. So eventually she was like, hey, I want to change your name. And I was like, I don't care. Whatever it is.
Big
and
Dick
she
McGee.
said, she's like, there's a Tommy gun, but you know, you're kind of like a pistol.
Yeah, you're like the antithesis of Tommy gun.
So,
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. If I still keep the job, it's fine. So that's how
little did you know that, like, 10 or more years later, you'd still be doing this shit, and you'd get the name Tommy Pistol forever.
Yeah, if you would have told me when I started, you're going to put 15 years in, I would have laughed in your face and been like, no fucking way. But honestly, this is an amazing job. There's really good people. It's a lot of fun. I've traveled the world because of it. I make more money than my parents ever did. You know, it's just
fuck you, parents. Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, suck it.
Yeah. So, look, I want to bring on our next guest because I'm watching her pouring glass after glass. So we better bring her in before it gets too late. But I mean, you've seen her at our Exoticas. Like, definitely one of the most original, like...
We haven't known her all that long. She just, once we saw her, we were like...
We saw her in Portland
last year. We like this.
And, I mean, she's just like, fucking the epitome of cool. I don't even know what else to say, because we'll leave everything else up to the imagination. Penny Poison, everybody. Yay, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Hey.
What's happening?
So, yeah, no, it's the weekend, I guess, so...
Which is like every other day, but... Every day, I'm going to come out of this an alcoholic and like 20 pounds heavier.
We all are.
Oh, sure.
We all are.
What's weird about the quarantine and whatnot is like, I don't feel so bad about drinking so much because everyone's drinking more than me now. So it's kind of a nice thing.
I'm wondering what's going to be closed. What's more of an essential business, a dispensary or a fucking liquor store?
Liquor store, because there's more states. Rough. There are more states that have it.
Yeah, I think weed is actually way bigger in Vegas right now than alcohol, for sure.
God bless
I got a deal on weed, 30 grams for $70.
What the?
Oh, dang
I get text messages.
30 grams? That's impossible.
It's not.
I'm smoking it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Are you serious? 30 grams?
Yeah, for $70.
Dude, it's where are you, Tommy? You're in LA?
Yeah.
I'm
like downtown.
Hold on, I got to do the metric system here. So 30 grams is equal to how much of an ounce?
Are you asking or telling?
I'm asking.
There's 3.5 grams per ounce. So there's 14 for a half ounce, 28 for a full ounce. I am horrible in math, but I can count dollars and I can count eights. So thank you very much. Thank you.
It's roughly an ounce and a quarter.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. So basically, that much would be like over $200, and they do that deal like every 4 or 5 months. So that's why I jumped on it. It just happened to be yesterday. So
I'd have your neighbor's order for that rate.
The New Jersey Medical Dispensary, it is $70, $60. Well, depending which dispensary, between $60 and $70 for an eighth of an ounce.
Oh.
Crazy. And it's like the same, if not nearly what you would get. You know, it's crazy how that works.
So I'm economizing and using the pen. Much better.
It only economizes if you don't use it as much. With the pen, it makes it that much easier to use. So it's just like getting some coffee in the morning. Here we go. Going to the bathroom this afternoon. Here we go. Like, yeah.
So Penny, what have you been doing? Because you were touring pretty much every weekend, right?
Yeah, I was. I had almost 40 weekends pretty much slam scheduled out of the next year, and they were all like, all right, on hold or canceled.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to be in Pennsylvania hopefully next month, but there is no way of knowing, and they didn't cancel yet. Like, hoping it's going to be the next 2 weeks. We'll find out.
What do you guys think?
I don't know how many people are going to show up.
And that's
after this.
What do you think strip clubs are going to be like after this, ladies?
It's going to be weird to see, like, even doing dances or anything like that. I can't do staples with anybody now. Yeah. Like, there is no way people are going to do that.
Because
for those who
I'll pull the sword out.
and those who are wondering what the hell the staples mean, you'll see later.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Yeah, I have it.
But it's interesting because both the clubs and the adult industry, I mean, like, it'll be interesting to see how, something that obviously can't go along with, social distancing goes with something like this, how it's handled.
Yeah.
I bet you it's fucked up.
So you shot with
weird.
Penny. You shot with Burning Angel also, right? In the past.
Yeah, I only did one movie with them. I mostly do clips and fetish for the most part, like and tentacle porn.
I would never guess that.
I do more like live tentacle stuff, like the weird stuff.
So like bad dragon dildo shit.
So
yeah, well, no, live.
Like real tentacles.
Oh my God!
Wait, what the fuck?
That's the live show I wanted to do for Exotica, and was like, this might be a little too much.
Wait, this is
way too excited about this.
Wait, this is
Tommy's like, tell me more. Tell me more.
This is actually, and excuse the expression, trumping. Sassy Cassie's blowing somebody dressed as Chucky story. I got to hear this one.
Well, Tommy's trying to make a private chat room right now. He's like, where's the
I have this like for real life fetish. I have this for real life fetish for like tentacles and stuff like that. So for live performances, only in certain states, like I can do it in Boulder City, but not Vegas, is fuck live squids. I mean, they're dead, so it's kind of like necrophilia, I guess. But on stage.
Yes. It's like when I was with Trump.
Yes. He was dead, but it was fine.
Right. That was like
there was another trick where I put like live goldfish in my pussy and like shoot them out and then put them in a bag and give them to like not kids, but people at the strip club.
Yes.
Like like a Tony gift.
But see, this is why we had to have Penny on, because honestly, like we didn't realize that this shit existed until we went to Exotica Portland, and all of a sudden we got introduced to Penny.
It was Miami, actually, I think.
No, it was Portland.
No,
that's right. You were in Portland.
Yeah, I couldn't make Portland, but it was Miami, and I was like, hey.
Oh,
we all talked, and you're like, what the fuck?
I knew her from us doing our Portland show, and once. Mm-hmm. Honestly, we did Portland, and we saw performances from people that we've never seen before. Like never.
Have you guys ever met BJ McNaughty?
Oh yeah, she's like one of my good friends.
No, I'm talking
obviously.
I know you have. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gotta see her face.
No, you don't, because she's a clown.
You can't see her face. Yeah. She's a clown.
She's a clown. She's a clown stripper, and it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Yep.
I have seen her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I have a picture with her.
It's the kind of thing that you see, and you're like,
Portland.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's right. I have a picture of you guys in Portland, Storm. So, I mean, I don't even know where to go. Stormy, also, you were throwing Tommy under the bus for some other things. Should we talk about this on air?
Yeah. Tommy.
I want to hear. I want to hear this.
I actually heard a story. So, originally I was going to have Tommy on my podcast to get his rebuttal to this story, but this is my gift to you guys.
Thank you.
When I was in January, when I was at AVN at a party, I had a very long conversation with Joanna Angel, because anytime Joanna and I are together, we love to tell Tommy pistol stories, because we are trying to figure out which one of us loves him more. And
who's winning?
I finally won this argument because she told me a story about what Tommy did on her sofa. And and she put him in the hallway for deflowering someone, and she was very upset about it.
Uh-oh. No, okay, I need to know more about this. Please explain.
So, I told her I was going to get your side of that on my show, but
all right.
Without a name, because the person who is not here to defend themselves, and she's not in the business, so we won't say a name.
No.
How you feeling, Tommy? Everything good? Yeah. Welcome to EXXXOTICA.tv. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. No. Yeah, I took Joanna's Angel's sister's virginity. We were actually watching a cartoon.
What cartoon?
I can't remember which cartoon, but yeah, it just it just happened. I mean, yeah, and it was the stupidest thing I ever could have done.
No, dude, do not say that. That's not going to make this better.
Just
No. Yeah.
It was a wonderful gift.
Not the upholstery, apparently.
It was actually on the floor. Okay. We were on the floor watching TV, and it was really late, and everyone else.
What season of SpongeBob was it?
Oh my god!
It's been the first. It's been the first season.
12 minutes later.
Oh wow!
Oh my god! And by the way, at this point, were you working like exclusively with Burning Angel, or were you like? I mean,
was this AMAC or Tommy Pistol?
Hey, Mac. Hey.
I think it was Tommy Pistol. It was a little bit. I was for the first 3 years, 4. I only worked with Burning Angel because they were the only people I knew that was shooting. So basically, as that company moved up, I moved up. But yeah, that was awkward and
good career move.
It was. Let me put forth. It was mutual. It wasn't like, hey,
Hey, Mac.
Hey, Mac. Hey, Mac.
You want to know why they call me
Joanna.
Pistol?
How did the whole couch get into this though? How'd you fuck up the couch? Did you shoot over her head onto the couch?
Wait, we haven't heard about the fucking up the couch yet.
I don't.
Stormy said
I don't
couch.
remember a couch being involved. I remember us being on the floor. It might have been something with Captain Planet for some reason. I don't know why.
When was this? 1983?
No, man. Captain Planet was like.
Wait, I think I remember now. Hang on. That's how she found out. She came out the next morning and found them sleeping naked on the couch.
Oh, okay. Well, at least that was nice. That's sweet. They cuddled after.
There was something about the
Aftercare.
couch. Like that he ruined the couch, but maybe it was just the idea of him on the couch that ruined it.
Right.
I think that was it. I think the fact of what I did, everything
you soiled the couch.
It.
Right.
Penny,
I think that was
Yes.
did you ever have sex with Joanna Angel or any of her family members? Her pet octopus, perhaps?
Sex with small hands, and that's about it. But not actual.
Not fair.
Not yet. Who knows? But miracles happen.
We were all going to be Eskimo brothers and sisters.
And speaking of, so Joanna, you have this weird kind of dynamic. It just goes around and around with her. With Joanna, Tommy.
Okay.
So I was watching his YouTube channel, and here he is. I knew you were in a band years ago. He's playing guitar quite well, singing a song to Small Hands.
Oh, the one recently?
Yeah, Joanna's husband, and then there was one after, I think, to Xander Corvus, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a bromance with Small Hands?
Oh, I love those guys, man.
He's cool as shit.
Yeah, I mean, I started out with Joanna, so when he met her and they were getting together, he's like, I've seen so much of your work, I edit your stuff, and he always gives me praise and love, and he's very respectful, he's a good guy. I love him. So that morning when I woke up and I saw Xander and Small Hands were doing that, I was like, oh, let me jump in on this and be funny. And I didn't expect it to make so many people laugh and make them happy. And then when Xander came back with his song, I had to write him his song because he's an amazing guy also. So
Can I correct one thing?
Yes.
Sorry, it wasn't Small Hands I had sex with. It was actually Xander, and he is one of the coolest fucking people ever. For the video that I did, he's like this. He was so fucking sweet. He's one of the nicest people.
Chill. Yeah, totally agree. I saw my friends having fun, and I kind of wanted to work in some fun and do it also. And it really made my day. It was awesome.
Lodge a complaint.
Yes.
I didn't know that this was how I was going to find out that Tommy Pistol joined another boy band behind my back.
We haven't recorded in so long.
I'm technically in a boy band we called One Erection.
I like it.
That was with Vegas.
Dance number with Xander Corvus and Michael Vegas.
Oh man, right, he took a bandmate of yours too. That's
apparently.
Yeah.
After
okay.
everything,
Penny, ask all your friends if I've met anyone you know.
So Jay and I have this idea, and the three of you guys can maybe help us put this together and participate. So you know how everybody's doing like their We Are the World fucking shit, the Canadian musicians and Queen and this one and that one. All right, we want to do one of adult doing it. So the first idea was You Got a Friend in Me.
But the point is that you need like
Randy
30
Newman will
people
sue us.
singing. Yeah, he's going to sue us.
And Randy Newman.
We can't even keep an account on fucking Periscope. I mean, like, Randy Newman's definitely going to sue us.
So then the next idea was I Touch Myself by the Divinyls.
I like that one. That's my vote.
You Got a Friend in Me, though. Stormy fell over, so that was better.
Yeah, that is funnier for sure.
Hey, it hits different levels.
So we roll the dice, get about 30 stars, and we do this, and hope that Randy Newman doesn't sue us.
Judging from our track record with Periscope, we're rolling the dice every day. So I say we just let's just keep them going. You know, like what's the worst he's going to do? Send us a cease and desist,
we got a wall in the office with those frames,
or he's going to pull up this episode of Exotica TV. And going to say they already knew they were doing something wrong, and forget the cease and desist. We're going straight to the lawsuit.
We're not making money on it. We're going to donate any monies that are made from it to because we know how much YouTube loves
Jay
the
Handy Relief Fund. I totally agree. Yeah. No.
Yes, we're going to.
We are.
Here's the charity. Those affected by the Stormy Clause. .org.
I like this.
I like it.
You know what? We have a sex worker song.
Or how about Montgomery Brewster for president?
Dude, the sex worker song I totally agree with. We do an entire fund of it. That would be hilarious.
Oh my God.
I think we should just to show everybody that we're fucking human and care.
Tommy, you're the musical director on this shit.
Change the words to like We Are the Whores or something.
No.
Yeah.
You should be a creative director on this project.
It's You Got a Friend in Me.
Oh, okay.
Toy Story. And this is not the weed talking. I challenge you, Tommy, to dress like Buzz Lightyear for this video. And get Small Hands to dress like Woody.
And who does Xander play?
It's just all the characters.
Xander,
the bully, like the kid with the skull and crossbones, like that'd be kind of funny.
Mr. Potato Head. Well, who could be Mr. Potato Head?
This has been a fantastic creative meeting with you guys. I really appreciate this.
This is awesome.
I like how this is moving forward.
This is moving great. Nobody else is enjoying the joke but the five of us, but whatever the fuck.
I think that would be amazing.
Let's dude, amazing is, and I'm just having flashbacks of Penny here. So we see Penny, right, and her performances, I didn't know what the fuck to expect
at all.
And I saw shit. So her body's like crazy hot. Dude, the ears, I didn't notice the ears until like the second time I met her. She's got her ears modified. Is that like
Oh, she's got it all, man. You haven't seen nothing.
Stormy missed that. Her tongue was. Wait, hold on. Get super close to the camera and do that.
Her tongue, yeah.
She's clapping the tongue. That is fucking talent, my friend.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. So, raise your hand. Raise your hand.
There's more.
There's more. There's toys. We got toys, Stormy. Sharp, pointy toys.
I've never seen Tommy look so excited.
I don't know who to put on the big screen, Tommy or Penny.
So
I'm very happy.
Who's here watching Penny? Let's see Penny swallow a sword. Raise your hand.
I want to see whatever Penny's going to do.
I hope my top does not bust during this because I have quarantine titties right now and they're like a little bit extra.
They're pushing the limits.
All right, let's see here.
Here we go.
Fantastic. Ready?
You guys ready?
Oh,
all right.
Yes.
Ow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Penny, we need you to tilt. We need you to tilt it up just a touch because I didn't actually get the insertion, which is really what does it for me.
I have my double swords too. Oh.
Double sword.
Have you ever done that and then also been like face fucked?
You know what's funny? Funny story, true story.
An honest question. Come on, you can't have us on.
Not face fucked, but recently, just on cam, I was able to like get a cock in my ass, riding this way towards the cam, and have the sword down my throat at the same time.
Did they touch?
So it's like, and your posture has to be like.
Did they touch? You wanted to know.
Yes.
No. Well, in time, maybe it will.
Do you ever have a guy say, "Look, he doesn't know what you do," and he says, "Yeah, look, honey, I just got to warn you, my cock is fucking huge. Can you take it all?"
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
If
But yeah, I had the double swords too. Aww,
I'm taking the dog.
Oh.
And then I have a couple other things too.
Did I see a deck of cards?
If you had the sword in your mouth and someone went in your ass unexpectedly, would that cough it out? Is that something?
No. You know what's funny? I had the hiccups that's the closest thing you can get to like pushing out on its own. Is the hiccups, which I have had while swallowing a sword. Weirdly enough, but yeah, I do have a deck of cards. You want to pick one? No, just kidding. But yeah, so this is his favorite.
There you go, Stormy. And did you know, by the way, that Miami or Las Vegas is the pussy stapling capital of the world?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm not going to staple my pussy on here. I don't want to get in trouble.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can't show that.
I will staple my ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do it. It's weird doing it with like something that's not money, honestly.
That's.
Look at Tommy.
Oh boy.
Ready?
Here we go.
Go. Ready?
Too much.
What? Yeah.
Oh.
Stormy, what's your card? The King of Hearts.
Wow.
That's amazing.
There is a trick like that though, an actual magic trick where it's like you keep getting the wrong card and like your whole thing is about like, oh, I'm into, negative reinforcement. And then it turns out like you just keep getting the wrong card.
Do you build up like a callus to something like that? Like, how does that work?
Only in your heart. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, do you think these two little pieces go into the same exact piece of skin every time?
Yeah, my ass is pretty like, it can take it.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
That one will always be rough. And like some people will get it directly on the clit and like punch it, and that sucks.
Stormy, have you ever gotten punched in the clit?
Yes.
You've gotten punched in the clit?
Yes.
By who?
Actually, I wasn't actually punching. I came down on the saddle wrong once.
That'll do it.
Nice.
Straight shot.
Jay, have you ever gotten a fist in the mangina?
Yes. Fist? Yes. Like somebody punched me? No.
No, but Jay does shit to annoy me, and we'll just be walking somewhere, and he'll be drunk and start annoying me, and then I'll just walk a little bit ahead of him, and I'll just whap him in the nuts. Every time.
He's just trying to feel my nuts.
These are weird.
No.
I use fucking other things, not my fist.
Yeah.
So
you've touched Jay's dick, because that's all I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes, he has. He groped it one time.
Just a tip.
Who do I talk to? Where's HR around this place? Who runs HR at EXXXOTICA.tv?
I do.
Okay, so let's get this straight. You're gonna shoot the video, or you're gonna be the creative director for the video, and you're going to be HR too. So
yeah.
All right,
Penny, what came first? What came first, sword swallowing or stapling of things to your body?
The first time I did stapling, I was actually getting anal, weirdly enough, by the clown I dated who got me into it. And he was like, oh, you're going to associate stapling with anal from now on. And that's why you'll like it. And I was like, okay, we'll try it out. And you know what? It does not suck. Like the only thing that sucks is the end of the day when you take a bath. and it's like super sore, and that's about it. Same with anal, if it's really rough, but yeah. So stapling, then sword swallowing.
So Jay, I want you to take your wife tonight and tell her exactly what Penny just said. You're gonna love this. Yep. Trust me.
Oh, listen, I
break out the fucking staple gun. It might be the red swing line or whatever that's sitting on your desk.
Oh, we got the construction model downstairs. We're gonna do it.
Start small. Start small.
I'm go big or go home, Dan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The bigger ones and the smaller ones feel the same anyway. So unless it's your.
And I know you do fire, so we know you can't do that right now.
Right.
That could end horribly. Yeah. Based on our track record, from everybody here, we promise it will go horribly.
Sure.
Tommy's got questions.
Are you going to do the 2 swords?
What's that?
Are you going to do the 2 swords?
Sure, if you want me to.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. I mean, hey, come on.
He didn't grow that mustache for nothing.
Stormy, you look like Dr. Evil there, holding your little fucking animal, getting ready to rule the world.
Like a hairless cat, Here we go. All right, that's what I'm going to stand for, just so you know. Ignore the not goth background. Sorry.
That's all right.
What? You're not goth?
Oh, Jesus.
You tricked me.
You little rapscallion. All right.
You fibber, you. Don't laugh.
Got a little bit. Ta-da!
Oh, the noise.
I made the noise was me. I went,
oh. I just got off to you and not her. Oh, God.
Those light on fire, too.
These
are my same fire swords that I did at EXXXOTICA, New Jersey, actually.
Yeah, we did fire there. Because in New Jersey...
Man, that's awesome.
Because our motto in New Jersey right now is nothing worse can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of true. That's pretty true.
So what new tricks do you think are up your sleeve?
Well, I've been learning a little bit more pussy magic, which is good.
Pussy magic.
Come on.
Shut the fuck up. I want to hear what she says.
So it's like pulling a bunny out of your pussy. So that's new, but you have to be able to stuff hardcore. Let me put my dog away. Because I do the balloon swallow too that BJ does. It's where you take the balloon and you do all the way in, and then I pull out a pair of panties when it's all the way in. I'm trying to do that with a bunny rabbit and then pull out a whole outfit that I put back on after being pretty much nude. So it's like a reverse striptease, but it's all inside my pussy.
And it's a fake bunny.
Yes.
No, it's just dead. It's like the octopus.
Tommy's like, oh man, I'm fucking...
I have stuffed an octopus in there and come out with it out, which is hard to do. Really hard to do.
I appreciate you.
Stormy, you've been having...
Thank you, Tommy.
Stormy, you've been having some supernatural times. So I'm talking to Stormy the other day. We're texting back and forth. And I just said something, something was weird here. And she's there. No, weird is having a conversation with your ex-coworker's dead uncle.
Yes.
Do explain, because you got some ghost shit going on.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I had a house in New Orleans, the house that I just moved out of in New Orleans. Turns out was super fucking haunted. And a lot of weird stuff happened. When Denver and I lived in this house. And it was like knocking and the dog barking at stuff that wasn't there. And I started getting shadow figures on film. And a bunch of other crazy stuff happened. So that I took that film and I sent it to some people who I later found out actually work for, I can't remember if it's Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures. And this is how they're going to find out whose footage they were looking at, because until this very moment, they didn't know whose camera footage it was. And it was legit. It turned out to be real. So I got the idea to do this TV show with my friend Justin. His stage name is Bongazi. He has an album just came out, Dead Blood Funeral Company. And Michael Vegas and Susie. And we went to the Sally House, which you can look that up. It's one of the most haunted houses in the United States, in Kansas, and filmed. And I got scratched on the back. And the ghost singled me out, was calling me by name, a whole bunch of weird stuff. And a couple weeks later, Justin and I went to it's called The House in Between. Their documentary comes out in like 3 days. You can look it up, and the trailer for this documentary is crazy. Nobody knows about this house yet, but it's in Mississippi, and they've been studying it for 10 years and filming in it for 4. And while I was there, some really fucking crazy stuff happened. We got it all on film. Voices, I was able to we got a whole bunch of stuff. But I think that was on March 8th. And ever since then, something about me is different. And now every morning between 8 and noon, my living room is basically like that scene in Beetlejuice where he takes the number and he's waiting in the lobby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm not a detective or anything, but your hair is different.
I was going to say, I think it's obvious what's happening here.
A guy who served me sent me a message and just was like, oh my God, I thought about you because I had this crazy dream. And as he's telling me about this dream, he was like, yeah, and I went back to my house and I felt like it was 1996 again. And I was like, whoa. I was like, did you have an uncle that wore a jean jacket, had a mustache, very much like Tommy's, and smoked? He was like, you're describing my Uncle Mark. And I was like, he's in my living room right now. Has he passed away? And he was like, we haven't been able to find him for several years. I was like, well, I feel like he has cancer. I was like, he says he likes your tattoo that you just got. I was like, what did you get? And he had just gotten the Monopoly Man tattooed. And I was like, is it on your forearm? And he was like, yeah, he showed it to me. I knew what kind of car the guy drove, what kind of cigarettes he smoked, what kind of cologne he wore. I knew everything. And
Jay's a doubter.
This goes beyond.
He had a pocket watch that he wanted my friend Chris to have.
That's amazing. Holy
and then
hell.
Another friend of mine's dead mother came through that I didn't even know she was dead. She died 30 years ago. I was like, do you know Joanne? And she's like, my mom's name is Joanne. I was like, I feel like somebody's pushing on my chest. And she said that her mom had died of a heart attack. Long story short, I was able to walk through her via message and find a water leak in her house, that she's got black mold growing in her walls that she didn't know about, and she's been having a bunch of health problems. And I wasn't at her house. I didn't know anything about it, but I knew her mom's name, her mom's favorite color, what her mom liked to drink, that her mom smoked, how her mother died. I said, she's got a yellow dog with her. Does that make sense? And she was like, oh, that's the dog I had as a kid named Goldie. I was like, and you have a dog right now that's hurt, and her dog had just hurt. I mean, it was scary, and this is every morning in my house.
Stormy Oliver.
Wow.
With this, the pre-interview notes that I'm reading and the stuff that we had, it said you had ghost stuff happen at your house. What you're telling me is that you're like fucking Whoopi Goldberg, and and shit is coming in. Is this how this is working?
Yes. My friend made a joke yesterday, so I can't take credit for this joke, but he was like, you have your quarantine diet's amazing. And I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, in 3 weeks, you went from a XXX to a medium.
See,
Jay, you got a sound effect for that?
Yes, I do. The rim shot. Wait, when is that going to go on the road?
On film and audio and video and all that kind of stuff.
What was the woman's name that used to go on all the talk shows that did the Sylvia, what's her name? She
Dr.
went around.
Westheimer?
She was like, it ain't good. Your dead daughter is under an apple tree somewhere, and they go and dig it up, and there she is, or whatever. When are you going on tour with this, Stormy? I want to know. How do I buy tickets? Where? You're like, what? Go.
I don't know. That's the thing, though, is I can't do it on command. It's like if Tommy was like, oh, give me a reading. I can't. I don't know how those people do it. This is just different.
Weirdly enough, this girl does.
See, there you go.
Let me ask you one more question. Yeah. If you were Whoopi Goldberg and Dan and I wanted to communicate with each other, would you allow us to use your body?
No. I don't want to know each other privately.
You know what? It's over with.
I have a question.
You have a penis. You can do stuff with it.
I know. Stormy, I know you've been talking about doing a horror film and everything. Is any of that based around?
No. it's not even remotely related. My horror script I wrote 10 years ago. Tommy has a big part in that. Everything's just on hold right now. But that's a story that is based outside of New Orleans as well, but it's a totally different thing. That's about the loup-garou, the Cajun werewolf.
And then you also got
the Cajun werewolf.
This week there's a comic book coming out. Well, there's a couple of them coming out, but soon or whatever, next week.
Right.
Whatever. You got 2 comic books coming out.
That's awesome.
Wait, the first one
rad.
is Female Force. Jay's going to show the cover of that one. Female Force is the first one, like how to be, it's all about celebrating being, a boss lady.
Yeah.
And then the other one, you ready for this? Stormy Daniels, Space Force.
So I actually have them. I forgot about
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't you don't need graphics.
Space Force.
That one I don't have a copy of yet.
Well, I do.
Because it's more like a graphic novel. It's a big one.
Dude, that's awesome.
Is coming. The fine folks over at Tidal Wave Productions puts this out. So, check them out. But I mean, so was it hard working on a comic book and standing there while they painted you for every frame?
It took so long.
Oh my God.
Okay, just move a little bit more.
How do things like this come? I mean, you have a normal agent that just comes to you and says, like, hey, you want to be in a comic book? Like, do they call you? Do they hit you up on Twitter? Like...
This is kind of a cool story because I found out about this. Somebody told me about it, and I looked up, and they had done like a soft early run on Amazon, and it pissed me off. And my friend Denver went after them pretty hardcore, like a cease and desist, because it's, my name and my trademark, and they were, using parts. They'd clearly read the book and just, they were all in the same box right here, kind of like stolen it. And so he went after them and was pretty nasty with them. And they came back and apologized, and we got on the phone. And it turns out the guys that had Tidal Wave were super cool. And they let me make a couple changes, and then we redid it. And they have agreed to give a portion of all the sales to charities of my choice. So we did like Wounded Warrior, and the other one is called War Horse. And so it saves horses, but pairs them with veterans.
That's cool.
Because
I thought you said whore horse. I'm sorry.
He's laughing. I'm like, why the fuck is Tommy laughing? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? I thought you said he was cool.
I just wish he was being Tommy. Yeah. So that's the cool part is that a portion of all the sales go to the charities of my choice, and it's my story. I approved all of it. I didn't draw any of it, obviously, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And the guys that do it are really cool. They have a whole series about powerful women. Like they did one of Carrie Fisher and a whole bunch of other people. You just have to check them out.
And then are you working on a sequel to your first book? Like everything that maybe happened since?
Haven't you realized people don't fucking know how to read? That's why I did a comic book, so they can just look at the pictures.
You should do a book of all your Twitter responses, because that's fucking gold right there.
I need somebody to compile that. That's an idea that I am trying to pitch. I'm just going to call it Troll Slayer.
Actually, I have a collection from when I used to work at when I was the editor of Club Magazine and Genesis and all these magazines. We used to get like crazy letters, from readers and shit. So I actually still have them. It's letters from the editor. That's going to be a book one day if I ever get. And it's just these crazy ones. And my most favorite pen pal, I never wrote back to him, was Rainbow Head. Like, do you know who Rainbow Head is? He was the dude.
Was this
he's been
pre-Cold War?
Yes, pre-Cold War. He was the dude that stood out in the crowd in the at sports events with the afro wig, the John 3:16 sign.
Oh my God.
You don't remember that guy? He's been in like a million things, like like Cart Simpsons. I mean, all over the place.
Don't even know what Cart Simpsons.
Anyway, he's in jail because he held a housekeeper in a L.A. hotel hostage to talk about like the rapture on TV. So he went away for a little while. But anyway, I got letters from him. So anyway, that would be great. Tommy, what are you up to? What are you working on now during this whole thing?
Mustaches.
Mustache, yes. Trying not to eat myself to death with cookies and candy.
It's so hard, man.
So
the problem is
night.
You go to the grocery store and like you got to buy shit that's going to last you for a long time, right? Or something that like you can't buy vegetable. You can buy perfect example. Perfect. I have the same box, and there's your problem. So like 11 o'clock at night, all of a sudden you're like, do I eat the tricks or do I go to the Chips Ahoy?
Yeah. No.
Then you get watch out. You could look like this in like the next like 2 months. Like,
then it's the battle of sweet and salty. Then you just had the fruit. It's like, fuck, man, I want some chips now.
Maybe just eat more swords. There's also that.
I'll drink some fucking Jack. I'll eat some ice cream
and make
some
bad decisions.
Cookies, and then like waffles, and it's like, what am I doing? I go to bed feeling like a pig. It sucks, and then it's like, why am I feeling crappy when I wake up? That's why.
Penny, what's your go-to right now?
Oh, for like being at home and whatnot for food?
Your snack, man.
3 swords.
My snack is swords. No, I'm just kidding. Right now, I don't know. I'm very into Winco right now, and I'll still like stock up on like different kombucha juices that I've never really liked, and now I fucking love them. Yeah, and then trying to make ramen style different dinners, which is such a carny thing to say, but anyway. And then gourmet corn dogs, like homemade corn dogs.
Now you're talking Dan's language.
I had a hot dog for lunch, man.
Now you're talking Dan's language.
Like dirt dogs?
When's the last time that any of us had a hot dog for lunch when you weren't out by like a pool or somewhere outside like drinking beer?
Just Dan.
Just Dan.
No, for sure.
A, I was high. B, I had hot dogs. What other reasons are there?
To be honest, I want to do like a hot dog eating contest really, really bad, just so I'll have that title.
Oh,
I really want to do that and fucking because I
listen.
I don't
you want
have
a platform to do that? We got a platform to do that.
I'll just swallow those hot dogs.
Next week on EXXXOTICA.tv, you guys in?
I want to see that.
Like Kobayashi.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me you want to judge?
Do you remember my old assistant, how he was obsessed with Kobayashi and hot dog eating? Do you remember that? We used to have to schedule my hours around signing if there was a hot dog eating contest.
Is this really a real thing?
Yeah, Dan remembers Pip. Remember?
Pip was. You met Pip. Pip was the dude that had the monkey tattoo on his arm, and when we got the monkeys,
yes, I did.
And we got the monkeys at Exotica Miami the one time from the hall next door,
right.
And it was in love with his fucking tattoo.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, I kept like looking at it and knew that it was that was awesome.
And Pip, and by the way, from a former story we did, Pip is not the one who Brie Olson like destroyed. Pip was with Ava Rose in the same room as Brie Olson, who brought the random stranger back.
Yeah, and then there was blood everywhere, and you lost your deposit.
It wasn't my deposit. It was a crime scene. It looked like a fucking crime scene.
Thank God for Brie Olson. She gives me like 50% of the great early Exotica days stories that we have. Like
some of them involve Stormy.
That shit was crazy. I had never met somebody like that before. She was wow.
And you never will again.
No. She's still out there. She's still.
I talked to her
around.
Yeah. I texted her every once in a while. She actually
called me like 2 months ago, and we were on the phone for like an hour, just random.
One of the things
it was terrifying.
One of the things that I saw, and actually I talked to Stormy a little bit about the last show we were at, was as I was loading in everybody's like social media and doing all that stuff, I saw your Cameo address. The Cameo is so interesting to me. Like, how's it been going? Like, I mean, it's like literally somebody pays you an obscene amount of money for like a 1 minute clip. Now, does it take you 1 minute to film the thing? No, you got to like think about it for a minute. But like,
yeah, no, it's so easy. I mean, I turn down some because people will try to get like a free commercial. Like if it's to promote like a product or their business, I won't do them. Right. And a lot of them are just basic like happy birthday, bachelor party stuff. But I gotta tell you, well, now the Mother's Day ones are starting to come in, but I gotta say, like, I feel kind of bad because a large majority of them the last couple of weeks have been for like condolences and get better from COVID. I feel like the Undertaker that had to open a new shovel shop.
You're like the person like welcoming them back off the respirator.
Yes.
Dude,
wow.
And then she's only doing it so she can have conversations with them later.
And I feel kind of like bad, so I made like a donation and stuff to the frontline workers. But
you didn't fly any jets. You didn't fly any jets over any major cities because that's really what people are looking for these days.
Apparently that's major letdown. It just felt very dark. You know, it's like I said, I'm like the Undertaker that had to open the second location during the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Well, are you basically like sending them off on their way and saying, "I'll call you later"?
Yes.
Check out my OnlyFans. No.
No, she's gonna have conversations with the people after they die.
Oh, like that? They're gonna come back.
Well, you like, Jesus Christ, Jay, fucking follow along.
Sorry.
My God.
If I could show you the screen of the beers that I have sitting on my desk.
God, I didn't think about that. Now someone's gonna show up and want their money back because my get well message didn't work.
They'll haunt you forever.
So the spirit's gonna show up and be like, "Remember me?"
Dude, I am so, honestly, we're gonna hang up this call.
Sparklers.
I'm gonna cross my fingers that someday, like the Stormy's next big career move is gonna be towards like Maury on Saturday or on Fridays, like where she like comes in and tells people where they're, where people are and what's going on. You got to work on these powers. You need to develop them. Come on, no.
Live PD with Stormy Daniels.
My boobs are tingling. My boobs are tingling over here. Something over here.
Oh, I wonder if that would work.
It's like dowsing, but with your boobs.
Thunder saying go north. Lightning saying go east.
Something. Yes.
This nipple is like really hard, so it's a man.
If you need a sidekick, Penny's in.
Yeah, no, for real. I love that stuff. Like my dad's a minister too, and he used to do like Christian exorcisms here in Vegas.
Lead off with that.
So yeah, like we could talk for sure. Like it's some spooky stuff he's taught me.
We gotta have all three of you guys on again with just like you, and that's it. And just like this has definitely been, Jay, would you agree? This has been the more interesting of happy hour. Well, it's happy hour and 29-minute-ish.
Yes.
But
I would absolutely agree.
It's just fucking amazing. And by the way, I got Jay a cameo for his birthday last year.
Did you from who?
Oh yeah.
And if anybody can figure out where this guy is, you can't give it up, Jay. His name is Tay Zunday.
Dan's cheap as fuck, so he paid like $10.
It was like a.
He didn't give me no like Shaquille O'Neal or like.
It was like a $50. It was like a $50. No, but it had meaning to it. It had meaning. And don't you ever fucking doubt one of my birthday gifts, you fucking asshole. I've given him some good birthday gifts, bitch.
Cameo is
blowjobs are amazing.
Anyway, it's the guy. You ever see that song? It was like the first YouTube guy. Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
And I asked him to sing it because I used to torment Jay with that song. Chocolate Rain.
Yes.
In a brain. Chocolate Rain. Anyway, I got that for Jay, and he sang the song to Jay.
He did.
Oh.
It was very sweet.
Yeah.
It
was just a letdown because the year before, like his wife and I got together, and I got him.
Whoa! You did what with his wife?
Seriously.
We got him on the field with Don Mattingly at a fucking Phillies game, hanging out in the dugout. But yeah, don't worry about that. And on national TV, cool. Jay was on ESPN.
Listen, Dan, what have you done for me lately?
Chocolate Rain.
I've gotten Stormy's name. I've got Stormy's name on the billboard at fucking Yankee Stadium.
That's right.
That happened.
Before
I will say, Dan.
He also had the Grinch grab my boobs.
I had the Grinch grab her boobs.
Dan gets shit done. Yep.
I get shit done. Tommy, what's your Make-A-Wish?
To do with Stormy?
No, just in general.
In life.
In life. I'll see if I can make it happen.
Wait, is there a difference?
We'll see if we can make it happen for you because we get shit done here.
Oh man, shit! I would love to do some with the Muppets.
Dude, I meant to ask you about that. I was watching his shit. There's fucking puppets everywhere. Puppets.
See with a sock puppet.
Dude, what's the deal with all the puppets?
I like puppets. I just shot with my girlfriend. We just shot a puppet porno that we're gonna release soon and everything. I love puppet. I think they're hilarious. I since a child, I love puppets. They're fucking funny. They're always funny.
I was directing Tommy in a sex scene with Jesse Lee and Brendan Miller, and he left the set for a second. I was like, oh, I don't know. We kept filming. They were having a moment, and they were having sex on this sofa, and behind the back of the sofa, here comes a sock.
They're amazing. Like I want Sassy Cassie to fit me with a sock puppet. Honestly,
Muppets always make people smile. That's all.
Absolutely.
It's true.
It's the googly. It's the eyes.
So, if you could get me in a Muppet movie, I would. I don't know. I do a lot of things for that. Let's just say that. Yeah. Amazing.
One more move. Cookie Monster gets it.
I love it.
That looks like something that you stole from Lexi Bell.
No. Look at Jay's in the background. Horror Show Jack. He comes to our shows. He's awesome.
I need one.
Well, you'll have to be at the shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Get out of quarantine.
At Jersey. He was at Jersey. So
I was supposed to be in Jersey.
Yes, I know.
Wait, what's the new dates? Well, hey, so everybody listening though, like, what are all the new dates?
All right, so Exotica Chicago leads us off July 31st through August 2nd. All in.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Check.
You'll be there? Penny, check.
I'll be there.
Tommy, come too. Fucking hang out with us.
Check.
And then we were supposed to go to DC in June, but that got moved to December 11th through 13th.
Check.
First night of Hanukkah, by the way. So come hang out with us, spin the dreidel, and perhaps win some prizes and porn star autographs. And then we got Jersey is October 23rd through 25th this year. And
last but not least,
Miami.
Oh, you missed Miami already? I thought you got to October.
Oh, I did. I jumped ahead though. And September 11th through 13th is Miami this year. So.
Oh, that one
And then in DC goes to December, which is.
I just said that Hanukkah dreidel.
No, I know it's going to be interesting. The last show of the year. Jersey's always been our last show of the year, so this will be the first time that we're doing it.
And then it's going to be a different world out there, so we'll see what happens. I guess the 6-foot rule. I don't think works when you want to pose in a picture with a star, but.
It's wear those dinosaur suits and hug people.
We have 2 of them. Not we.
There you go.
Never have I ever put on a dinosaur suit and walked around Exotica.
That's the one thing about our industry coming back and everything. Like we could test, but the point that's brought up is the location where we're shooting, the house we're shooting with, the owners, the people who've come in and out of the house. That's the one thing I think that's really gonna
affect.
I have no idea what to say. Like,
invest in a giant warehouse that you can build, or a storage facility that you can turn into different rooms and turn into a studio, like a massive studio that you control.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to start unleashing unleashing people back into everything. And it's going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be like, look at that. It really wasn't as bad as we thought it would be. And you'll get the right screaming about how, it should have never been closed down to begin with and, whatever. Or probably the more likely of matters is that they see it spike again after they open the doors and get everybody out. But the good news is it sounds like they have some really promising treatments and some real, shit that's coming down the turnpike. So it's, literally anybody that tells you they know what they're doing or they know is fucking has no idea.
And we can always go to Bleach.
I'm 90% sure that I already had it.
Yeah, I actually.
Same here.
Yep.
Same here.
Fucking horrible. I did a show January 31st in New Orleans. I did my stand-up comedy show at the House of Blues. And for 10 days after that, I was the sickest I've ever been in my entire life. I was so sick that I couldn't get enough oxygen to carry my suitcase down a flight of stairs at the Airbnb. I had 104 fever.
Wow.
Yeah, you had the Rona.
I don't get
sick. You got the Rona.
You had the Rona.
But this is before anybody had heard of it. And I went to all the Mardi Gras parades that week.
Yep.
and got sick.
It's funny.
I mean,
It's funny you say that because I actually was in New Orleans 3 days after Mardi Gras and spent like 4 days there, and that was where I got sick. And
Jay had the Rona.
I think I had the Rona too. I think you might have given me the Rona, just like coughing.
maybe I was very.
I think I got it from. Sorry,
From
I think
where?
I got it from one of the casinos here. Honestly, because during New Year's I was so dead. I never get sick either. Obviously, I swallow swords from dirty stripper like floors, and I'm always fine.
There are clean
Like I
stripper
never
floors
have a
too.
problem.
I fucked 10 of those motherfucker. I'm in. I'm good. I'm immune.
Yeah, it's never been I don't get sick, and I was deathly ill. I could not even go out like unless I took some acid on New Year's, and that helped a little bit. But like duh. But other than that, I was super sick, and then after that, I felt better. Weirdly enough. But yeah, crazy fever. Like I was super duper sick. Couldn't move for like a whole week at all, and I haven't been sick like that since I was like a kid. But yeah, acid helps apparently. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, New Year's was awful.
Second time today, Jay and I were talking with Alexis Fox earlier today, and it got into a whole mushroom acid fucking conversation over there too. Mushrooms?
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes, I do. That was hilarious. Man, I don't know.
Oh my God. Penny, remind everybody where they can find you online and everything.
You can. The best way is just Google me and take the sex search off or whatever, the safe search, and then Twitter at pennypoison13. I'm on Streamate, Penny Poison, same thing. Facebook, Penny Poison. Instagram was deleted, of course, like everybody else who matters.
Dude, what's the deal with that? I'm seeing vagina on Instagram.
They wear MAGA
now.
hats, obviously, so who cares? Yeah, no. What else? OnlyFans, Penny Poison, that I just started up, so that's also good. But yeah, just anything Penny Poison or Penny Poison 13
or ass stapling.
Nice.
All right, cool. Tommy.
Assstapling.com.
Where can everybody remind everybody where they can find you and where they can have fun with you and contact you and all that fun shit?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Tommy Pistol. You can find me on Instagram at official_pistol_page. You can follow my YouTube page, Tommy Pistol. You can listen to my podcast with comedian Rosie Trancourt called Dirty Change on Anchor. You could follow and see me do naughty things with my mustache on OnlyFans.
You must pay the rent.
I will eat today. I promise.
Dude.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can also find all of us on Joanna Angel's shit list now.
I keep checking my phone expecting an angry text.
Yeah, nothing yet. I'm good. We're good. Stormy, remind everybody where they can find you.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I have StormyDaniels.com for tour dates, and hopefully all the comedy club stuff will be rescheduled. If you have tickets through Ticketmaster, they are honoring new dates when we have them. So you can go to livenation.com to get all those. On Twitter, I am Stormy Daniels. On Instagram, I am the Stormy Daniels. I do not have a Facebook. I do have OnlyFans, which is Stormy Daniels. Always, I think Tommy Pistol is verified as well. Sorry, I don't know about for you, Penny, but all of my social media has a blue check mark. So if you are talking to me on any message apps or anything like that, surprise, it's not me, and I do not need that Apple iTunes gift card. You got catfished. Yes.
And Jay, remind everybody where they can find us.
You know, therein lies, I said it at the beginning of the show, the $1 million question. Everybody just needs to go to EXXXOTICA.tv. Yeah, and yes, that is a domain.
It's right behind you.
It's
Oh,
do your best, Vanna White. Come on.
Vanna White.
Work it.
Jay loves Vanna White.
There you go.
That was actually pretty good. So we broadcast all this stuff on all the social medias that will possibly allow us until they don't. And so basically the way it works is we go until they say no, and then we figure out what we're going to do from there. The one thing that we can actually control is EXXXOTICA.tv, because that's our web domain, and that's where we will populate all of these videos and keep everything rolling. So through the process of all of this, yes, you can watch it on Periscope. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on fucking whatever. But at the end of the day, if you continue to go to EXXXOTICA.tv, that is where you'll find the episodes.
Power to the people.
Tommy has a podcast too. What's your podcast again, Tommy?
It's Dirty Change.
Dirty Change.
Dirty Change. And mine is Taking the World by Stormy. So.
Eddie, you got a podcast yet?
Who, me? No.
You have a podcast, and you have a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast.
I should have a tentacle podcast or something like that.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Penny can't have a podcast because she does her best work with her mouth full.
There we go.
I like where this goes.
Do you want to hear how we came up with Dirty Change?
Yes.
Real fast?
Yes.
So when I was younger, my dad gave me money to go buy groceries. And he was living in Manhattan, so I took the money and I went to a porn shop and spent half of it in a porn booth. And then I didn't buy enough groceries, so my friend, I was like, I told him the story, and I was like, yeah, I felt guilty. I had to give him back dirty change.
So there you go.
Oh my god.
There you go.
And hence the dirty change.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank all three of you for taking an hour and 43 minutes out of your day to spend with us.
That's the ish part.
That's the ish part, the 43 minutes ish. I'm going to milk it to 44, I swear to God, with this. But for all of you, Jay, it's been a fantastic week. We got all sorts of crazy shit going on next week on Exotica TV. Let's see. We got we're
starting to run 2 episodes a day of new programming. So we got stuff coming kind of fast and furious.
We got Monday. We got backstage with Vivi Noir,
hot burlesque dancer from New Jersey.
Yeah, Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. Spend it with Webcam Diaries.
Series
premiere.
No,
I'm sorry. No. Wait, no, it's not on there. I'm sorry. My bad. It's a Sexpert Corner with Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noir.
Hot guy, hot girl.
There's some spanking going on.
Very smartness. Yes.
The BBW ladies of the Boob Tube.
Week 3.
Week 3 of that. And then check this out. We got Fork You, our cooking show. So you could be cooking with Brittany Amber.
Yep.
Oh, wait. No, Jesus Christ. I fucked that up again. It's going to be Alexis Fox.
You read the Vivid live reads a lot better on Vivid Radio.
Well, dude, I'm fucking high as a motherfucker right now.
Alexis is really.
This is where I bust out the actual squid.
Actually, I'm sorry. Thursday.
We interviewed Alexis today. She was awesome.
She's fucking hilarious.
Thursday is Fork You with our cooking show. We're cooking with Taylor Stevens.
Okay. Giant boobs.
And her giant boobs. They're
giant
huge.
Boobs. I'm excited for that one.
Huge. Maybe making some kind of weird Canadian shit because she lives in Canada, eh?
Bacon.
And Canadian bacon.
Goes without saying.
And then we're also a double feature that day. Brittany, the girl that works for us, at the stage, we tormented her. We just told her to come on the air, and it was a performance review.
Yeah, so we're doing a show called Inhuman Resources, and basically just hazing our staff members.
Well, you weren't part of Human Resources yet. Now you get to be a part of that with us.
Yep.
I want to be quality control.
Our old Human Resources person is now a dead beagle, and so now Dan and I are taking on the reins, and we're going to do it.
And I really don't like people, and I'm not very resourceful.
Yep.
So I don't want to do this. And then next Friday, we're back here on the happy hour-ish with Phoenix Marie and some very special guests. So Phoenix
so special.
So special.
Thank you, guys. Storm, it's always awesome. It's awesome to have you back on the show. And Tommy, it was awesome to meet you. And Penny, it was awesome to see you again. At least it gives us a little bit of like a, we feel like we see people even though we're stuck in our houses this whole time. So that's what we're trying to do.
And you know what, guys? You got a friend in me.
Yes, you do.
You got to make it happen.
I want a friend on me.
Actually, on my screen, Tommy's on you.
Perfect. Just how I like
there
it.
There you go.
It's like the Brady Bunch, right? You guys, Story, tilt your head this way. Tommy, this way. No, other way, Tommy.
Oh, sorry.
No, Story, stay where you are. All right. Guys.
There you go, Dan. That's where you sign it off.
That's where you sign it up. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us. See you guys next week. For my good buddy Jay and his fine cast of characters. Stay safe, stay sexy, and put your hands up puppet asses time to time. It'll make everybody smile. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.